My girlfriend texted, "I'm working late." Then I saw her on her friend's girls' night Instagram story. "Making out with my boss." I replied, "No problem." Then I forwarded the video to HR with the subject, "Inappropriate Relationship." The urgent, final paycheck email she received the next morning. I, 32 male, am a senior data analyst at a large-scale logistics and supply firm, or as I call it, a professional spreadsheet wrangler. My girlfriend, Naya, 29, and I have been together for 4 years. We live together in my condo, which I bought before I met her. About a year ago, I helped her get a job in our company's marketing department. She's smart, ambitious, and I was proud to have her there. My direct boss is Dominic, 45. He's the head of analytics, a lifer at the company, married, 2 kids, lives in that perfect suburban mini mansion. He's also technically the head of marketing, making him Nia's boss's boss, a big man on our corporate campus. For the past 2 months, Nia has been distant, working late, constantly. This new product launch is just insane, Leo. Gotta grind, babe. This is my chance to impress Dominic. She brought him up a lot, and he in turn started being weirdly chummy with me. "You're a lucky man, Leo," he'd say at the coffee machine, slapping my back. Nia's a real go-getter, a star. It felt off, slimy. But I told myself I was just being a typical paranoid guy. Last night, Thursday, my paranoia was proven to be my gut instinct. 7:15 p.m. my phone buzzed. "Nia, this deck is not finishing itself. Dominic is making us all stay late to get it done. Don't wait up for me. Order yourself a pizza. Love you." I texted back, "Leo, sucks. Good luck, no problem, love you too." So I ordered the pizza. Fired up my PlayStation. Around 9:30 p.m., I'm scrolling Instagram while waiting for a game to load. I see a new story from Jenna, one of Nia's marketing friends. The bubble is bright, captioned, "Girls' Night." I tapped it. Loud music, clinking glasses, a bar I didn't recognize. Jenna is giggling, filming herself and another friend. "Woo, Thursday is the new Friday." My stomach clenched. Working late? I tapped to the next segment of her story. It was a 10-second video. Jenna must have been panning the room, and she panned right into a dark, curved booth where Nia was, and she was not with her girlfriends. She had her hands in a man's hair, and they were, in no uncertain terms, making out, swallowing each other's faces. The man, of course, was Dominic, my boss, her boss's boss. The video was so clear, unmistakable, I felt nothing, just pure, cold, Arctic ice. The betrayal wasn't a hot rage of the chemical reaction. It was instant, chilling clarity. She didn't just cheat, she lied repeatedly for months. She cheated with my married boss, the man who signs off on my vacation days, the man who does my performance reviews. She wasn't just my girlfriend, she was a massive, walking, talking HR violation. I screen recorded the video, saved it, emailed it to my personal email, backed it up to my private cloud drive. Then I pulled out my phone and texted Nia back, just 2 words. "Leo, no problem. I know, I'd already said it. This was different. This was confirmation. This was the okay, I get it text. The title says I replied this, and I'm sticking to it." It was my final, cold as hell reply after I knew. Then I opened my work laptop. I logged into my corporate email. I pulled up the employee handbook. Section 4.1a, Fraternization and Conflicts of Interest. Relationships between a manager and any subordinate in their direct or indirect chain of command are strictly prohibited, as they create an inherent power dynamic, potential for favoritism, and a hostile work environment for others. Oh, they nailed that part. I composed a new email. To Brenda, Steve, Chief Legal Counsel. BCC, my personal email. Urgent. Inappropriate relationship, Sec 4.1a, and hostile work environment. Dear Brenda and Stephen, it is with extreme regret that I must report a serious breach of company policy. I have just received indisputable time-stamped video evidence of an inappropriate personal relationship between my direct supervisor, Dominic, and my partner, Mia, a marketing coordinator. As you know, Dominic is the head of department for both analytics and marketing, placing Nia in his indirect and my direct chain of command. This relationship and their subsequent dishonesty about working late, see attached text from Nia, creates an untenable conflict of interest, a hostile work environment for me personally, and calls into question all recent professional judgments, including my own performance reviews and any of Nia's recent project advancements. The attached video was taken at 9:28 p.m. tonight. I am deeply concerned about my professional standing and the clear potential for retaliation from Dominic. Please advise on next steps. I will be working from home tomorrow, Friday, pending your guidance. Sincerely, Leo, Senior Data Analyst. I hit attach. Uploaded the 10-second screen recording. I read the email one more time, clicked send. The time was 9:54 p.m. I turned off my PlayStation. The pizza didn't taste like anything. I didn't sleep. This morning, 8:01 a.m. An email from Brenda, subject, re-urgent. Leo, thank you for bringing this to our attention. We are treating this with the utmost seriousness. Your discretion is appreciated. Please do work from home. I will call you at 10 a.m. Please be available. I spent the next 2 hours drinking black coffee. My hands were shaking. At 9:45 a.m., my personal phone exploded. 12 missed calls from Nia. 3 missed calls from Dominic. A stream of texts. Nia, Leo, what did you do? They shut off my laptop access. My email is gone. Call me. Leo, they just called me. They fired me. Dominic, Leo, call me. We need to talk. This is a misunderstanding. You ruined my life. The doorbell started ringing, over and over. I looked through the peephole. It was Nia, hysterical, pounding on the door. My work phone rang. It was Brenda from HR. Leo, are you in a quiet place? Yes, I said, as Nia screamed my name from the hallway. Yes, I am. Leo, after a brief but conclusive investigation, both Dominic last name and Nia last name have been terminated from the company, effective immediately. Their actions were a flagrant zero-tolerance violation of our code of conduct. We are appalled at the breach of trust, especially from a senior manager. As she's saying this, Nia is still screaming. Leo, I know you're in there, you bastard. Open this door. Brenda, I said, my voice steady. I have to let you go. The now ex-employee is currently outside my apartment. Oh dear? Do you need security? No, Brenda, I think I can handle this. I hung up. I walked to the door. I looked at my phone. Nia had just forwarded me an email, the one she received at 9:35 a.m. Subject, urgent. Final paycheck, employment termination. Dear Nia, this email is to confirm that, following an investigation into a serious breach of company policy, your employment with company name is terminated, effective immediately. I opened the door. She was a mess. Mascara everywhere, her working late outfit from last night rumpled. You, she sobbed, you ruined me. No, Nia, I said, my voice cold. You ruined yourself. You lied and you cheated with my boss. That was inefficient. It was a mistake, she shrieked. It just happened. You didn't have to get me fired. Dominic he was going to promote me. I'm sure he was. You have 1 hour to pack a bag, get your essentials. What are you talking about? I live here. No, I said, leaning against the doorframe. You've been a guest for 2 years, and your visit is officially over. Get your stuff. Update 1. It's been a week. My life has been a legal drama I never auditioned for. First, the fallout from the purge, as my work friends are calling it. Telling Nia to pack was just the opening act. Nia, you can't throw me out. I have rights. I'll call the police. Go ahead. Tell them your boyfriend who owns the condo is kicking you out because you cheated on him with his boss and you're both unemployed. See how that goes. She didn't call the cops. She called her mother. I stood there, arms crossed, as she had a hysterical screaming conversation. Mom, he's kicking me out. Because of a misunderstanding at work. Yes, he got me fired. No, I don't have any money. It was pathetic. She packed a suitcase, all the while sobbing and throwing things. You'll regret this, Leo. You're a monster. I'm a data analyst, Nia. I just presented the facts. You drew the wrong conclusion. She left, slamming the door so hard my Starry Night print fell off the wall. Good riddance. Now, the real entitlement. The company is in chaos. Dominic was a department head. His sudden departure, they sent a vague, "We wish him the best in his future endeavors" email, left a huge power vacuum. I've been praised by HR for my integrity. It's weird, but the villains aren't taking this lying down. First, Nia. She's been staying with Jenna. Lol, the irony. She must have run out of money in like 2 days. She sent me a barrage of texts. Nia, I can't pay my car note. This is your fault. Nia, I need $5,000 now, or I'm telling everyone you were abusive. It's compensation for my job and my emotional distress. You owe me, Leo. I screenshot them, sent them to my personal email, didn't reply. Then came Dominic, or rather his wife, Belinda. She found me on Facebook, sent me a long rambling message. You did this. You ruined my family. Dominic is a good man, a good father. He lost his job, his reputation. My children are crying. It was your little tramp girlfriend who seduced him. She was always flashing herself at him. He's the victim here. My God, the delusion. Belinda, you need to fix this. You need to call HR. Tell them it was a deepfake video. Tell them it was a mistake. Retract your statement. Get him his job back. You owe my family that. Me, Belinda, I'm sorry for your situation, but I will not be lying to my company. Your husband is a grown man who made a choice. Please don't contact me again. Belinda, you will pay for this. You have no idea what you've done. I blocked her. I thought that was the dirty trick. I was wrong. Yesterday I was served. At my condo, a man in a cheap suit handed me an envelope. I'm being sued. Not by Nia, by Dominic. He's suing me for $250,000. The charges: slander, libel, and tortious interference with a business contract. His claim that I, a disgruntled and jealous employee, faked the video. He claims it was a friendly, congratulatory hug at a sanctioned team-building event that I maliciously deep-faked to get him fired. He's claiming I was passed over for a promotion. I wasn't, and this was my sociopathic revenge. I just stared at the papers. This is insane. He's a rich, powerful guy. I'm just me. This is terrifying. There's the vulnerability, folks. I'm human. But it gets worse. Attached to the filing was an affidavit, a sworn statement, from Nia. She's his star witness. Her statement claims I was abusive and controlling, that I knew she and Dominic were just close friends and mentors, that I had threatened to ruin her if she ever left me, and that she believes the video is a fabrication created by me in a fit of jealous rage. She committed perjury. For him, they're allied. They're both unemployed, desperate, and they've decided I'm the one who's going to pay for it. I'm not just fighting an ex-girlfriend anymore. I'm fighting my wealthy, connected ex-boss who has teamed up with my ex-girlfriend to ruin me. I called a lawyer immediately. This is way, way above my pay grade. Final update. It's been 4 months. 4 months of hell, and it's finally over. The lawsuit was, as my lawyer called it, a complete circus. I was spending money I didn't have on legal fees. The stress was immense. My company put me on paid administrative leave pending the outcome of the litigation, which basically meant they were protecting themselves. I felt alone. Dominic's strategy was to bury me in paperwork, to bleed me dry until I retracted my story. Nia, his little perjuring sidekick, was apparently living in an apartment he was paying for. They were all in. My lawyer, a shark named Tessa, was my only hope. Tessa, they're claiming the video is a deepfake, and it was a team event. This is a provable lie. We need to go scorched earth on the facts. Who posted the original video? Nia's friend, Jenna. Good, we deposed Jenna, we subpoena the bar. The deposition. Jenna was not happy to be there. She was terrified, caught between her friend, Nia, and a federal perjury charge. Dominic's. Miss Jenna's last name, you were at a company-sanctioned team-building event on the night of date, correct? What? No, it was a girls' night at the Crimson Lounge. And Mr. was there as a chaperone? A manager? A chaperone? No. He met us there. Nia invited him. She said he wanted to celebrate the campaign's launch. Jenna, did you at any time alter, edit, or deepfake the video you posted to your Instagram story? No. God, no. I don't even know how. I was dancing, I panned my camera, and I caught them. I didn't even realize what I'd caught until Leo texted me, WTF? I deleted it right away. So the video is 100% real. That is your sworn testimony. Looks at Nia, who is sitting in the corner. Yes, it's real. Nia put her head in her hands. The revenge, that was good. But this was the kill shot. Your Honor, Dominic and Nia's entire claim rests on this being a friendly hug at a team event. We have proven it was not a team event. Now let's talk about the friendly part. Tessa produced our subpoenas. First, Jenna's other Instagram posts. She had a close friend's story. I'd forgotten about it. But Jenna, under threat of perjury, gave it to us. It was a video from earlier that night. Jenna, slurring slightly, when the boss buys you, Dom. Woo. Thanks, Dominic. She pans to Dominic, who raises a glass of champagne and winks at the camera. Dominic's face went white. But that's not all. Tessa. And finally, Your Honor, we have the itemized Time-stamped receipt from the Crimson Lounge for Mr. Dominic's tab. She put it on the projector. 2 bottles of Dom Perignon. $800. 6 espresso martinis. 4 whiskey sours. Total, $1,142.50. Paid for at 9:45 p.m. By Dom X. He didn't just cheat. He didn't just lie. He didn't just commit perjury. He bought $1,100 of champagne and cocktails for his subordinates on a non-work night on the company card. The consequences, it was over. Dominic's lawyer, seeing his client had just admitted to corporate card fraud on top of perjury, immediately motioned for a recess. The lawsuit against me was dropped within the hour. Tessa, my beautiful shark, immediately filed a countersuit for malicious prosecution, defamation, and full recovery of my legal fees. Dominic, facing a new investigation from our company for fraud, they were not happy, and criminal charges for perjury settled so fast it made my head spin. He had to pay my entire legal bill, $38,200, and an additional $20,000 for damages, which I happily accepted. Belinda, his wife, who had been sitting in the back of the courtroom, heard all of it. The champagne, the thanks Dominic wink, the perjury. She filed for divorce the next day. He's losing his mini-mansion. He's lost his career. He's blacklisted in our industry now. He's lost his family. Naya? She's the real tragedy. She's guilty of perjury. She's unemployable. Jenna and her entire friend group cut her off for lying and dragging them into a lawsuit. Dominic, as part of his divorce, can't support her anymore. Last I heard, she was working as a waitress at a chain restaurant, living with her mom. She tried to text me from a new number. Nia, I'm sorry. I know I messed up. He manipulated me. Please, Leo, I have nothing. I just blocked the number. As for me, the company apologized profusely. They brought me back from leave with a promotion to Dominic's old job, Ulmeo. Just kidding, but I got a fat raise and a new title. The whole thing cost me 4 months of sleep and sanity. It cost me a relationship I thought was real. I took a financial hit, but I got it back. I wasn't some action hero. I was just a guy who got cheated on. But I'm a guy who keeps receipts. The best part? My revenge wasn't some grand evil plan. I just told the truth. I presented the data, and I let their own entitlement, their own lies, and their own stupidity do the rest. They built their own prison. I just supplied the video evidence for the locks. I'm taking a long vacation, somewhere with no cell service. My wife faked a home invasion and blamed my best friend to get me to cut him off. I replied, I'll call the police. Then I showed the cops the living room camera footage of her staging the break-in herself. The look on her face when the officer said, "Ma'am, put your hands behind your back." I, 36 male, have had a best friend, Julian, 35, and a wife, Alara, 33. Julian and I have been friends since college and built a small software company together from my garage. Alara and I have been married for 5 years. The problem is, Alara has always hated Julian. Not in an overt, I hate him way. It was subtle. Poison. Don't you think Julian is a little too dependent on you? I just worry he takes advantage of your good nature. All those late nights at the office. Are you sure it's a good idea to have him over for dinner again? It's our time. I always defended him. Alara, he's my business partner and my best friend. He's family. This, I learned, was precisely the problem. She wanted to be the only family. I'm a bit of a home security nut. Not because I'm paranoid, I just like tech. We have a few cameras in the common areas, all visible, all feeding into a local NVR network video recorder in my office, which also backs up encrypted footage to my private cloud server. Alara knew about them. She called them my nerd toys. Last week, I had to fly out for a 2-day client pitch. It was supposed to be Julian's trip, but Alara suddenly had a minor car accident, a fender bender in a parking lot, and was too traumatized for me to leave her alone with Julian. So I switched. I went. Julian stayed to mind the office. I'd been gone maybe 30 hours when my phone blew up. It was Alara, hysterical, sobbing, hyperventilating. "Leo, oh God, Leo, someone broke in. They smashed everything." My blood went ice cold. "Are you okay? Did you call the police? I'm hiding in the closet. I just got home and the living room is..." "Oh, Leo," she wailed. They took your grandfather's drafting tools." My stomach clenched. Those tools are irreplaceable. They sat in a vintage wooden box on my office shelf. They have zero cash value but mean the world to me. "Alara, hang up and call 911. I'm getting the next flight." No, wait, she shrieked. Leo, I think I saw who it was. When I pulled up, someone ran out the back. He was wearing that green jacket, the one Julian always wears. Silence. My brain just stopped. What? It looked just like him, Leo. He must have used his key. He knew you were gone. He knew I was at my mom's. He's the only one who knew how much those tools meant to you. She was full on sobbing now. He's always been jealous of us. He's trying to frame you or hurt us. I stood there in my sterile hotel room, and the most awful, cold, clear feeling settled over me. It wasn't anger. It wasn't panic. It was certainty. Alara, I said, my voice dangerously calm. That is an incredibly serious accusation. I'm calling the police. Don't touch anything. I hung up before she could reply. But I didn't call 911. I opened my laptop, typed in my server address, and navigated to the security NVR. Just as I expected, the living room camera and office camera were both offline. Status, unplugged. She knew which ones to pull. She's smart, but I'm smarter. She forgot about the tiny, wide-angle foyer cam that I'd installed 2 months ago behind a bookshelf, the one I'd told her was defective and was meaning to send back. I clicked the cloud backup. I scrolled back 1 hour, and I watched. I watched my wife, Alara, walk into the living room, perfectly calm in her yoga pants. I watched her go to my office. I watched her unplug the office cam, then the living room cam. I watched her return to the foyer, still in view of the defective cam, and pull a cheap vase from the hall table. I watched her drop it on the tile floor. I watched her go back to the office, out of view, and return holding the wooden box of my grandfather's drafting tools. I watched her walk to the kitchen, grab her oversized tote bag, and carefully place the box inside it. I watched her pull a few books off the shelf, toss the mail on the floor, and yank a cushion off the couch. Then I watched her walk to the hall closet, pull out her phone, take a deep breath, and dial my number. I saved the 4-minute clip. I downloaded it to my phone. Then I called the local, non-emergency line for my precinct. Hello, my wife has just reported a home invasion at 123 Apple Street. I am the homeowner. I am currently out of town, but I have video evidence of the entire event I need to share with the responding officers. Please have them wait for me. I am on my way from the airport. The evidence is sensitive. I booked a flight that left in 70 minutes. I was on the ground in 3 hours and at my house in 3.5. 2 police cars were outside. Alara was on the porch, wrapped in a blanket, talking to a younger cop, Brody. A second, older officer was taking notes. Alara saw me, ran over, and tried to collapse into my arms. Leo, it was awful. I didn't hug her. I just put my hands on her shoulders and held her at arm's length. The police are here, Alara. You're safe. Her eyes flickered. She'd sensed the change. Officer Reyes approached. Mr. Last Name, you're the homeowner? You called our dispatcher about video evidence? Yes, officer, I said. My wife has been telling me her theory about my friend Julian. Alara nodded, tears welling. I saw him, officer. He ran right past the window. I see, Ray said, writing. That's a felony charge, ma'am. Burglary. You're sure you're willing to testify to that? Absolutely, Alara said, puffing up with indignation. He's a horrible person. Okay, I said. Officer, before you go knocking on my friend's door, could I show you this? It's from my foyer camera, the one my wife and the intruder apparently missed. I pulled out my phone. Alara's face went white. A camera? What camera? Leo, what are you? The defective one, honey. I guess it fixed itself. I hit play. Reyes and Brody huddled around my phone. Alara stood frozen, her mouth slightly open. They watched the whole thing. The vase, the office trip, the tote bag, the staged mess, the phone call from the closet. Brody's eyebrows disappeared into his hairline. Reyes finished watching, let out a long, slow sigh, and looked up. Not at me, at my wife. Alara Last Name. No, Alara shrieked, her voice cracking. That's a fake, a deep fake. Leo, you did this. You and Julian. You're framing me. Ma'am, Officer Reyes said, her voice flat. I'm looking at a time-stamped, encrypted file from a private security server. He's been on a plane. You're here, on video, committing a crime. Or several, actually. What crime? I was just cleaning. Ma'am, Reyes said, cutting her off. She was done. Filing a false police report is a serious offense. Wasting police resources is a serious offense. Conspiracy to commit, well, we'll let the DA figure that out. Put your hands behind your back. The look. It wasn't sadness. It wasn't remorse. It was pure, unadulterated rage. The look of a cornered animal. "You bastard," she screamed at me as Brody cuffed her. "You're choosing him over me? After everything? You'll regret this. You'll be nothing without me." She was still screaming as they put her in the car. I just stood there, in my fake ransacked living room. The silence was deafening. Then I picked up my phone and called Julian. "Dude," I said, my voice shaking for the first time. "You are not going to believe this, but first, are you at home? And do you have an alibi for the last 3 hours?" Update 1. It's been 2 weeks since the staging. My life has been a blur of lawyers, police statements, and boxes. First, the fallout. Alara was charged with filing a false police report, a serious misdemeanor in my state, borderline felony given the value of the non-existent theft, and misuse of emergency services. Her parents, Arthur and Beatrice, bailed her out within hours. She's staying with them. I filed for divorce the next day. I retained the best and most shark-like lawyer in the city. When I showed her the video, she didn't even smile. She just said, "Oh, this is clean. Very clean." I had a locksmith change the locks and reset all the garage codes within an hour of her arrest. My lawyer immediately filed for an emergency motion, granting me exclusive use of the house, premarital asset bought and paid for by me before I ever met her, which the judge signed off on instantly given the circumstances, i.e. wife faking a crime. Now, the entitlement. It began with her parents. I got a call from her father, Arthur. Not a "how are you," but a demand. "Arthur, Leo, you need to call off your lawyers now." "That's not happening, Arthur. You are destroying our daughter. You have humiliated her. This is a family matter, and you brought the police into it. You don't do that." Me. She tried to have my best friend arrested for a felony, Arthur. A man who has never been anything but kind to her. She tried to ruin his life. She was just desperate for your attention, Leo. She loves you. She sees how that man dominates your time and your business. She just wanted you to see. A wife has a right to be the center of her husband's life. You owe her that. Me. I owe her nothing. She's a criminal. I'm having her belongings packed and sent to your address. Don't call me again. I hung up. Then came the dirty trick. I got a fraud alert from my bank. I'd frozen all her supplementary credit cards on my accounts. She was just an authorized user the night of the arrest. Apparently, Alara had called the bank, claimed I had stolen her wallet, and was trying to report me for financial abuse. She was trying to get a new card with a new number, issued and overnighted to her parents' address. The bank rep, "Sir," she was very convincing. She said you were unstable and had violent outbursts. But since you, as the primary account holder, had already placed a security freeze, it triggered a high-level review. Me. Please note on the account that she is not to be trusted, that she is currently facing criminal charges, and that any attempt to access my accounts is fraudulent. I forwarded that little tidbit to my lawyer, who added it to the growing Alara's bad faith actions file for the divorce. Julian is rattled. He had to give a formal statement to the police, confirming he was at the office. Security badged entry logs confirmed it, lol, and had no knowledge of any of this. The police found my grandfather's drafting tools in the tote bag in the trunk of Alara's car, right where I told them it would be. They're still in evidence pending the trial. I can't even get them back yet. That, more than anything, makes me furious. Now, Alara's legal strategy is something. Her lawyer is trying to claim extreme emotional duress. She's painting me as the villain. Her claim, I was a cold, unavailable husband who was emotionally abusive through my codependent relationship with Julian. She's arguing that she's the real victim, and that the video was taken without her consent, and is inadmissible. My lawyer just laughed. It's a common area, not a bathroom. It was for security, not voyeurism. And the charges aren't for what she did on the video, the staging. The charges are for lying to the police, which she did, verifiably, after the video was taken. She's toast. This is a mess. I'm sleeping in the guest room because I can't stand being in the master bedroom. I'm packing her stuff myself. Found a stash of receipts for hotels and dinners. All for one. Or so they say. My lawyer's looking into it. She really thought she could get rid of Julian, have me all to herself, and I'd just... What? Thank her? The delusion is staggering. Update 2. It's been a month. The entitlement has, as one of you predicted, gone supernova and achieved a kind of toxic godhood. First, the flying monkeys. I'm not on social media much, so she couldn't do a public smear, plus her lawyer probably told her not to, given the criminal charges. So, she's unleashed her friends personally. I've gotten a dozen texts and calls from numbers I don't recognize, all from her friends and some of our mutuals, giving me the same script. Leo, you're being so cold. She's a victim. She just made a mistake. Are you really going to ruin her life over one mistake? You know, Julian always had a weird vibe. Are you sure he didn't do something to provoke her? And my personal favorite from her maid of honor. Don't you know women just do things like this when they feel unheard? She was just crying out for help. You should be in therapy with her, not in court against her. I replied to that one. She cried help by trying to send an innocent man to prison. Blocked. My block list is now impressively long. The divorce battle. Alara is now, and I am not joking, demanding the house, my premarital asset, half of the business, claiming she was an unpaid emotional support partner and consultant, LMAO, and $10,000 a month in alimony. My lawyer's response was, "This is a kitchen sink demand. It's what desperate people with zero leverage do. We will respond accordingly." Accordingly meant a counterfiling for her to pay my legal fees, citing her criminal conduct and bad faith fraud attempts. But that's not the dirty trick. This is what sent me over the edge. Julian has a 7-year-old daughter, Maya, from a previous marriage. He's a fantastic dad. Last Tuesday, Julian got a knock on his door. It was Child Protective Services. An anonymous tip was called in. The tipster claimed Julian was emotionally unstable, had violent associates, that's me, I guess, and was bringing strange men around his daughter. That's also me. They claimed he was leaving Maya alone at night to go conduct business. At odd hours, Julian was, and is, terrified. This is his daughter. He had to submit to interviews, a home inspection. Maya had to be interviewed by a social worker at her school. It was humiliating, invasive, and horrifying for him. I was livid. I knew in my bones, it was Alara. This wasn't just trying to ruin my life anymore. She was now attacking Julian's child to punish him for existing and to punish me for supporting him. I called my lawyer. She's going after Julian's kid. My lawyer for the first time sounded angry. This is criminal harassment, and it is spectacularly stupid. We file for an emergency restraining order. Now, and I'm calling the district attorney. The Revenge Part 1. My lawyer immediately contacted the DA handling Alara's false report case. My client's ex-wife, your defendant, is now engaging in a campaign of targeted harassment against the victim of her original false report, Mr. Julian. She has, we are certain, filed a false and malicious CPS report against him. The DA, who was apparently considering a lenient plea deal, probation therapy, was not pleased. This moved Alara from foolish, jealous wife to malicious, ongoing public threat. The DA's office immediately launched an investigation into the source of the CPS call. The Revenge Part 2. Simultaneously, my lawyer had one of his partners draft a civil suit, Julian v. Alara, last name. The suit is for defamation, for the original burglary claim, malicious prosecution, and intentional infliction of emotional distress, for the CPS call. This is no longer just my divorce. This is a separate, massive lawsuit from Julian seeking significant damages for the attack on his reputation and his family. The fallout. The CPS case was, of course, closed as unfounded within 48 hours. Julian is a model father, and the claims were transparently absurd. But the stress and fear are real. Alara's parents called me, screaming this time. "Arthur, a lawsuit? You're suing her?" "She has nothing. You're trying to take our money. You should be proud. Your daughter just escalated from a liar to a child endangerer. She tried to take Julian's daughter. So yes, we are going to take everything." "You're a monster, Leo. A monster." "No, Beatrice, I'm just the guy holding the camera. Your daughter is the one staging the horror movie. You're all going to have to watch it." I hung up and blocked their numbers too. Julian and I met last night. He looked exhausted. "I'm sorry, man," I told him, and my voice cracked. "I'm so sorry. I brought this person into our lives. I should have seen what she was." Julian just looked at me. "You didn't. She fooled you. She fooled everyone. But she's not fooling anyone now. We finish this. Together." She crossed a line. A big, bright, uncrossable line. She went after a kid. No more mercy. No more holding back. My lawyer is cleared to burn it all to the ground. Final update. It's been 6 months. It's over. Here's how the house of cards Alara built finally came down. The criminal case, the DA's investigation into the CPS call, was the kill shot. They subpoenaed the records for the anonymous call. It came from a prepaid burner phone app, but the app was purchased on an iTunes account, which was registered to Beatriz, Alara's mom. When confronted, Beatriz and Arthur tried to take the fall. They claimed they made the call, that they were genuinely concerned for Maya's welfare after Alara told them how unstable Julian and I were. The DA didn't buy it for a second. They saw it as a clear conspiracy. Alara was facing a trial for the false report and new felony charges for the CPS report, conspiracy, criminal harassment. Her lawyer finally saw the writing on the wall. She was offered a global plea deal. She pled guilty to 1 count of filing a false police report and 1 count of criminal harassment. Her sentence, no jail time. This is the realistic part I was prepared for. First-time offender, nonviolent. 2 years of stringent probation, a $10,000 fine, 1,000 hours of community service, mandatory psychiatric evaluation and court-ordered therapy/anger management for the full 2 years, a permanent 10-year restraining order forbidding her from contacting me, Julian, or his daughter Maya. Violation means immediate jail time. The divorce. Her guilty plea in the criminal case absolutely gutted her divorce claims. The judge in a pretrial hearing basically told her lawyer that her demands were frivolous and offensive. The house, I keep it, 100%. Premarital, and her conduct, specifically faking a crime in it, voided any claim of contribution she might have had. The business, I and Julian keep it, 100%. Her claim of being an unpaid consultant was dismissed with extreme prejudice. Alimony, 0, none. The judge cited her egregious criminal conduct against her spouse's business partner as an act of economic dissipation against the marriage. But, and this is the part that stings, the part that makes it real, I didn't get out clean. We had to split the liquid assets accumulated during the marriage. This meant I had to liquidate a brokerage account and write her a check for her half. It was for $82,450. It felt like swallowing glass. I had to pay her to leave after everything. I wasn't a hero who lost nothing. I took a real painful financial hit. She was smirking when her lawyer told her the number. The civil suit, Julian's revenge. This is where the justice happened. Alara's parents, Arthur and Beatriz, were also named in the civil suit as co-conspirators in the CPS harassment. They were facing a public humiliating trial. Their lawyer advised them to settle, quickly. They settled out of court. The evidence, the guilty plea, the iTunes trace was undeniable. The settlement amount, $100,000. $80,000 of it went to Julian for legal fees, damages, and therapy for him and Maya. The other $20,000 was a mandated, court-overseen deposit into a college trust fund for Maya, which Alara and her parents are forbidden from ever touching. So let's do the math. I paid Alara $82,450. Alara and her parents, who had to foot the bill, paid Julian and his daughter $100,000. I essentially paid my best friend's damages via my psycho ex-wife. It's the most bizarre, karmic, and satisfying transfer of funds I've ever seen. That smirk was wiped right off her face when her civil lawyer told her the settlement would eat her entire divorce payout, and then some. The aftermath. My grandfather's drafting tools are back from evidence. They're on my desk. They look the same. Julian and I are fine. The business is fine. His daughter is fine. Our friendship is obviously stronger than ever. I hear through the grapevine, a former mutual who apologized profusely, that Alara is living in her parents' guest room. Her $10 fine and community service start next month. Her probation terms make it hard to get a job. Her parents are apparently furious, as their retirement fund took a massive hit to pay the settlement. They're not treating her like a victim anymore. They're treating her like the bad investment she is. She's bitter, angry, and blames everyone but herself. She got what she wanted. I'm no longer in her life. She just didn't account for the cost. As for me, I'm in therapy. My trust in people is, well, it's shot. It cost me a lot of money and a lot of peace. But the house is quiet. It's my house again. I sold her furniture and bought a new couch. It's over. She played a stupid, evil game and she lost.